Hayden, man, it's like so much talent, but what I don't know if I like him better or Jason Lawrence. I'm sorry to say it, but
Yeah,
who's a better sportsman? I mean, actually, Jason Lawrence at this point, some of the things he's saying now make a lot more sense than
yeah,
anything I'm hearing from
Yeah.
Jason, so or from Hayden. So
Brian Deegan has this reputation for being a bad boy, but I think it'd be kind of tough to be Brian Deegan's son and trying to fill those shoes because if you look at his story, it's very impressive. Like he's known as the bad boy, but honestly, like he was a great organizer and really smart. And then
brilliant
also,
guy. Yeah,
he absolutely did build himself. Like he came from humble beginnings, left home when he was 17, living on almost nothing, and to what he is today.
yeah,
And so I, in a way, like, and I, Deegan's a little younger than me, Brian, and not too far. He's in the same race circle that I am from Sioux Falls to Omaha, so certainly knew a lot about him. And he was very fast, so we knew about him.
oh yeah,
But so I mean, I know all the stuff, and it'd be easy to like the surface stuff to kind of go, oh, he's this bad boy. But honestly, when you take a closer look at Brian Deegan, he has an impressive story, and he should be proud. And I
but
think
don't you think his bad boy status is his bad boy status would be more organic? It was out of necessity.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Bellevue.
his son didn't. I mean, his son has to work just as hard to be, at the level he's at. And I give him all the kudos. The guy's very talented, very committed. But Brian Deegan's bad boy thing came from,
that's who he is. Like you
being
said,
a little scrapper. You know what I mean? And coming from nothing.
Bellevue, Nebraska, meatpacking by the Air Force Base. Grew up, no doubt, with Air Force guys, just like we know what it's like being a high school kid around an Air Force Base. It's tough. And then leave home when you're set. I mean, I have to. If you look at the Brian Deegan story, it's impressive. Like,
he
definitely is a self-made man, and a ton of accomplishment, and like you say,
very successful family. Yeah,
of organic bad boys. That's a great way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then now is maybe that's it. In those terms is then Hayden, this synthetic bad boy that just doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I've seen him say stuff and do stuff that's really really nice kid.
Yeah.
If you get, I mean, because you look at the guys that are big in our sport, your Eli Tomacs and your Hunter Lawrence, and they're pretty humble guys.
Yeah.
And they don't have to go around saying I'm the best and putting everybody on the ground and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's like I think it would serve him so much better.
No, yeah, you're right.
The whole thing with Anstey, that just kind of blew my mind. Yamaha to Yamaha.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that work? What's the dynamics there? And I mean, is that? I'm just curious. Like, where's the team thing there and all that?
That'd be like when you were playing college football, Brett, and the quarterback hands the ball off to you, and you tackle the quarterback.
That'd be it exactly. Yeah.
It's like, why?
That's
your teammate.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Blows
on so many. That was hard to rationalize. Like, what's okay? What's okay about that? There's nothing okay about it.
Right. Yeah.
And he said it was an accident, but man, at that level, those guys, they could balance a quarter on his side and leave it be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys are phenomenal at what they do. I mean, he knew what he did, but I don't know. You could say, well, it's just because he's young, but he's 20 years old. He knows the difference.
Yeah.
I'm with you there too.
Yeah. And again, that's the culture, that we're talking about is what are we producing? What is he producing by his actions? You know what I mean? It's kind of the thing that we look at what's happened with professional basketball, professional football. A lot of these guys, they're not putting on, they're the worst example they could possibly be.
Yeah.
And, we need to hold our professional athletes to a higher standard. I really believe that. That's just something that you can be who you are and you can have your persona, but you still have to be that example. It's just
I
kind of.
agree. Did you watch the national championship game last night?
I
College.
didn't. I didn't.
Yeah.
Seth kept telling me I
Well,
need to, but okay.
Indiana, of course, won. But their quarterback, this Mendoza kid, Heisman Trophy. But this kid is, I mean, he's like Tim Tebow. That's who I want my kid to emulate.
Right. Yep.
And then after the game, Miami had this guy. He was a running back, and he had a wonderful game. And he goes up and he's picking a fight with one of the Indiana players after the game. And it's like, and it was all over the news today. And they were like, why can't he be more like Mendoza? Mendoza's over there thinking his coach and his priest and his teammates and this guy's over here picking a fight.
Yeah.
It's like, and these kids that are up there wearing his jersey with his number on it, you're going to be a lot more popular, man, if you can kind of fly straight and be humble.
And ultimately, it reflects on society. That's where it comes down, that we see it in society and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable and what becomes normalized and what doesn't. And
yeah, we can't all be the fastest motocrosser in the world, but we can all be a good person.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that's really all you get credit for. And I mean, we do, like, we've had such great examples, and we used to have great examples. I mean, Ryan Dungey.
Oh, what a good guy, yeah.
And I think, like, you look at Eli Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, just people that just stand out as like, yeah, I respect this guy because of who he is.
Right.
And, like Phil Nicoletti, I mean, he's on a ton of podcasts. And the more you listen to that guy, it's like, man, he's got his head screwed on right.
Right.
And,
for sure.
Yeah, like, certainly, like, yeah, we all need to be better, right? But that was tough to watch, like, especially at the Joe thing last fall. God.
Yeah.
It's like, where is his career over before it began?
Well, I heard, I was trying to think of which one it was I was listening to. Oh, it was Jason Wygant. He had a show on. And he said in the pits, there's rumblings that, Anstey is really well liked by all the racers.
Yeah.
And will that have some sort of effect? I'm getting lapped by Deegan. Well, he was kind of addicted to this other guy, so I think I'm just going to hold him up.
Yeah.
Is that kind of stuff going to happen?
I hate to see it, but the J-Law comparisons are out there, and it would be tough to convince anybody today that J-Law was on par with Villapoto and Dungey.
Oh yeah,
he was.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he was that fast, and
right.
Look how it ended up for him.
Right.
He just imploded. Yeah.
Yep. That's a perfect example of somebody that just didn't have that somebody speaking into their life. Now, whether he follows it or not, it's another thing. But obviously, there was something there for him to go down that road. And
Right.
part of it was somebody was telling him to promote himself this way, but he lacked integrity. And I listened to some of his not podcasts, but some of his shorts and stuff. And literally, it sounds like he's, for his ability to understand what that might mean, it seems like he's got a lot more than he used to. But, there was a guy that, talent-wise, it was there. But
oh, absolutely.
The whole rest of the package was just left out. And that's something we've got to get in this sport. Because we've always had our bad boys. I mean, Hannah, he used to be looked at as a bad boy. And
Rick Johnson,
perfect example. But you listen to those guys, they still had, I think, that heart thing where they'd finish the race. It didn't matter how hard it hurt.
Yeah.
It didn't. There was something different there, and it, as far as that, they had a will to win, but they also, I
Right.
think, had a degree more of integrity that we just don't see a lot of
Right.
times with some of them. Anyway, now I really sound like an old guy.
Yeah,
Hey, we are.
Tastovich too. Like I think his career got cut short, and it was another good example where he he burned relationships and then nobody wanted him, and
Right.
that's one of the things that came to mind with Deegan, especially after Joe, and now this. I mean, finish one season bad, go right into another issue. Like, what if Yamaha gets tired of him? Who would pick him up?
Right.
He's a hot potato.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing
but he's
is,
a winner. That's the issue there. I mean, what were you saying? Win on Sunday, sell bikes on Monday. You know,
the big thing
Yeah,
though is he a liability? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he's going to win races, but is he going to do something so colossally stupid that he can't come back from it? Because so far, the things he's done, he's been able to come back from it. They've played it right, that kind of thing. Yeah, he's lost some respect. I think all of us, because I think we all used to respect him more if you listen to our old podcast to where we're at now. I think there's maybe a little bit less um, respect than maybe there had been a year ago, even. But then, what kind of liability? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is more controlled. Maybe this is a persona, but I kind of wonder. I wonder, he's, you know, could he do something? So that's the other.
that separate truck thing really stuck with me too, though, because I'm like, and I think you guys have all had people work for you, and one of the things I used to tell people is it's like, well, we're all good. You just have to weigh what do you bring into the company versus what do you cost in the company.
Right.
And when those start to shift, it's over.
Right.
And his cost is high. I mean, I don't mean just dollar cost. I mean, well, he just lost a championship, right? He lost that
stupidity.
championship with Joe because of the way he rode.
Yeah.
but he lost it before that.
That's
Wasn't it Kitchen that cleaned him out? Right?
But that was very warranted. Like,
That's what I'm saying. So that was
yeah, he's, and the thing is, it's only going to get worse in the 450 class.
yeah.
Because A, they're faster, and B, they're not. There's a bunch of them that absolutely won't take it, and you only need to get take. Well, he blames Kitchen for losing it, and so do a lot of people. That was one person one day. If you have
But
that
it cost him a
happen
lot of points though.
once, yeah. If you have that,
But he'd been poking that bear a long time.
oh, nobody could blame Kitchen for that. I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't out of the blue. It was
Yeah.
It was overdue, is what it was. And so, so then he's going into the 450s like that. And if you don't win championships, if it's like every year you get taken out 4 times and you just get 5th, now what?
right.
Where do you go from there?
And all those guys have earned their stripes, and they're at a point too where they're their own franchises, and it's like they're a business. And now you're attacking in a business when you attack them. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
there's a lot more at stake there when you attack those guys, because it's not just them, it's all the people around them. I mean, they are truly their own brand at that
Yeah.
point. And I just don't think it's something that's going to go well for him or be accepted.
Can't be sustainable.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's sustained.
So what about the
Like-
450 race? What'd you guys think of that?
Well, that was exciting, wasn't it?
That was,
I mean,
yeah,
Wow. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't. Eli he's the phenom.
he is.
oh yeah. I mean, two races, 2 wins on a brand new bike. I mean,
God, it sure
Wow.
seems to fit him good.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It just he looks, to me, he looks so much more fluid on it than he did on the Yamaha. I mean, the Yamaha,
Yeah.
he looked good, but this one, it just seems. And granted, it's 2 race. Well, we had the World Supercross too. He looked good on that in there, on it there too. But it just seems to fit him well. And just, I'm impressed.
And what is Chase Sexton's deal, man? I mean, the guy. I mean, he's fastest guy on the whole track. Goes from last to fourth, but he gets hung up in the gate. I mean,
I think that's that thing of, motocross is so much more than
it's
people give
mental.
it credit
Yeah,
for. Yeah, I mean, you grow into it. There's so much maturity in motocross, and at every age level. Like Eli, he's maybe not the superhuman that he was. He's still superhuman, but maybe
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not what he was. But he's evolved at his age to continue doing what he's doing, and I think that's the thing with Chase is he's always kind of been a bit of a head case, and then I think he's kind of that guy. Again, we're talking about integrity. I think there's something there. He wants to win, but
Yeah.
I think there's something there that he doesn't have that the other guys have. That's what I think.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I always thought I thought I had Chase figured out this winter because when he was on a Honda, I thought he was overriding the bike, which is possible to do with the Honda. It's got a lot of front wheel weight. It's heavily mass centralized. That's why I like it. Is as a smaller, lighter rider, it takes my inputs really well. But I sometimes if I get too forward, you'll just override the bike and the front wheel will lock to the side. And if you look at the Catapult thing, that's really what happened. Chad just got too far forward, too much input. And Chase is big, is strong, and aggressive as he rides. I just always thought, oh, he overrides that Honda. And I thought honestly, I thought the KTM worked well for him until it didn't.
Right.
And I think they had genuine supply issues. So I thought, oh man, this cow, he's going to be like a rocket out, but I don't
And he
know.
was, but he just got hung up at the gate.
Yeah, that's like you say, that's got to be a head case thing.
There's
Right.
something
It's got to
there.
be. But
Good.
all it's going to take is for him to get a win or two under his belt. And I think he'll go on a tear. Is what I think.
I sure
That
hope so.
confidence for your
I just hope so for his sake, but my athlete senses and me from time and assessing people on the other side of the field for me, to me, he's that guy that you can beat. And he just knows he can be beat. He doesn't know it, but I mean, you just know you can beat him, and you can. And
Right.
he's to that point where, he's doing a little bit of the Prado. He did the Prado thing with what Prado did with Kawasaki. He wasn't happy, so Prado just
Yeah.
wasn't any good. He did the same thing with KTM, and that my excuse might have been, maybe people don't like me saying that, but that's what I see there. If you are an athlete, you're going to do the best you can on whatever bike you're at, and you may be better on one than the other. And I think Eli's a perfect example.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
That's the thing, that from bike to bike, honestly, arguably the fastest he's ever been in my mind is on the Honda. And
Yeah.
that whole thing, I'm still pissed off at Honda for that whole thing. You know what I mean? It's like they should have just waited for him. But anyway, I know that was the Geico thing and all that, but I think there's something there that is the difference in a great racer and a good racer. It's something here and here that can't be given to anybody. It has to be developed, and that's what makes the great better than the good people.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he's great. Sorry.
No,
I
yeah,
mean-
I think we're still in the Eli Tomac era. We thought it was over, or some people thought it was over. I think I did, but it's not.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm a big fan of Eli Tomac, but I don't know. In my opinion, this is my opinion, we're in the Jet Lawrence era. If Jet was out there racing today, I don't think Eli'd be running away with it.
And that's
I don't
going to be
know.
the fun thing to see what happens
I don't
when he
know.
comes back. I mean, you know what I mean? Now Jets had to go through injuries for the first time big like that and had to sit out, and everybody else that stayed on the bike could continue to develop their program. Now he's got to come back and we'll see how good he is. That's going to really show how good he is. If he can jump right
Yeah.
back and do it, or does he have to work to get back there?
I just know when I went and watched the Motocross of Nations this past year, and there was a section of the track that Jet was doing stuff that, I mean, these are the best guys in the whole world. Nobody was doing it, what he was doing. And I mean, it was just incredible. Me and my wife were sitting there, and she even noticed. She goes, "Nobody else is doing what." I said, "Yep, he's a one of a kind. That guy is."
He's that development that I'm talking about right there. He truly is that package. I mean, he's got things that we really arguably maybe have never had with a motocrosser before. Not only is he superhuman, not only is he mentally all there, not is he also just has the greatest coordination that we've ever seen on a dirt bike. He's also a marketer. He's also a mentor. He's also the person that makes everybody that he meets feel like they're special. You know what I mean? He's got so many facets to him that I don't know if we've seen in that motocross world before. So those are the kinds of people that grow the sport. Those are the kind of people that change the sport. He's definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jet's hard not to love and hard not to appreciate, but I can't help but not draw James Stewart correlations, because James did things that throughout his career, the entire time, that nobody else could do.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it was, I think James, more, especially listening to him now, more than anybody else, had the ability to mathematically or conceptually break down the track better than anybody ever. But I do think it always, he could see it in his, I mean, I'm guessing, it seems like he could see something in his mind and then do it, but it was with a fair amount of risk. And because of the risk, other people maybe wouldn't see it, but even after he did it, they still couldn't do it. Because if we look at Jet, there's no question that, he's on days, most of the time he's faster than everybody else, but there's always one or two things on the track that he's doing that nobody else is doing. And if I think of the quad at Daytona, the risk with that jump was insane.
Yeah.
Yet he did it, 15 times in a row. But the problem is now an unfortunate part of our sport is that eventually it does catch up with you. And now he's starting to stack those up. And is it going to be I don't think James ever quit doing those things, but he just started missing so much time. It didn't stop him from being the third winningest rider ever. But think if we'd have had a healthy James, but if we didn't have those risky things, he wouldn't have won as many. So it's a trade. And I hate to say it about Jet, but early in James's career, nobody was saying, "Oh, he just is a crasher," but everybody says that now. And it's tough to look at the last 2 years and not call Jet a crasher.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not just debating what you are saying. It's just he's going to stack wins when he's on the track, but he's starting to miss a lot of time.
It's going to be
interesting. So did Ricky Carmichael. He blew out his knee and missed a season, and so it's the nature of the beast. To me, James Stewart always rode that ragged edge, and he was more. I don't mean this in this way, because the guy's beyond. One of the greatest riders of all time, but Jet gets the same job done with less risk, if that makes sense.
I don't know, that downhill where he that downhill double where he took himself out, that was every time he did that, to me, I'm like, holy smokes. Even when he was doing it in practice, I was puckering up just watching it because because it had to be perfect. And then it had to be perfect until it wasn't.
Right. I don't know. But like with Stewart, how many times did you watch a race and it got to where I would tell my buddy, I'd be like, "Oh, here he comes. Just give it a second. He's going to wad it up." And he would. And I mean, I'm a fan. I think the guy's phenomenal, but
I would agree with that.
Jet, you don't see making those mistakes, those costly mistakes. I mean, yeah, when you're training a bike, 8 hours a day, in the off season, it's kind of like, it's not a matter of when you're going to wreck and get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to get hurt, it's a matter of when you are going to get
But
hurt.
I kind of felt the same way about James early in his career. James didn't start crashing until he started crashing. He had some pretty awesome seasons.
Oh yeah, he did.
I mean, did he get hurt at all through 125?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did. And he destroyed people.
I don't know.
And then he had a couple good seasons in 250. And granted, he had to contend with Ricky Carmichael, a healthy Ricky Carmichael.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that's not what we see. With Jet, a whole bunch more injury-prone seasons. But I guess for me, I'll just say the jury's out. Like, I agree with. And he's so lovable, and he rides a Honda. So what better? What more?
I mean,
so what about Prado? He went from hero to zero in one race, huh?
I gotta see more from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I saw in the GPs impressed me, but
Oh yeah, the guy.
what I've seen of him as a person, as a coach, kind of a person, I don't know what I think. You know what I mean? I gotta see more there. I don't know. That I go back to what I was saying earlier. I don't know if he has that heart that he's going to win on whatever you put him on. There's certain people that we even ride with, that they can be riding a bike that they like, and something goes wrong with their bike, so they ride somebody else's clapped out bike, and the brakes don't work good, the clutch is like worn out, and they still ride good because they got that heart, they got that thing, and they're able to put that all aside. And granted, this is a whole nother level where these guys are at, but there's still a bunch of those guys out there that you can put them on any bike and they're still going to be
gonna win, yeah.
Or they're going to be competitive, and they're not going to come back with the excuse. They might say, "Hey, I didn't do as good because the bike wasn't right for me," but they're not going to blame it on the team. And I don't know that Prado's not that pampered kid yet. To me, he's almost like that kid that I'm talking about. That I don't know. I got to see more heart from him before I'm going to be a fan like I used to be.
Yeah,
I think Roxon would be that guy. Roxon. You could put him on whatever. You could put him on a whatever. I mean, you could put him on a Hodaka, and he's going to get out there and just rail it.
Kenny, you got to be a fan now for all his injuries, all the things he's come back from, and he's riding because he loves it. I think.
Oh yeah.
And watching him ride makes you love it. He's just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, got to be a fan, in my opinion. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you know what makes me even a bigger fan was when he came over here. He became an American. Yes. You know what I mean? Well, he's a citizen now, but I mean, it seemed like within a year he didn't even have an accent.
Yeah, like when he was young, he speak the Deutsch, you know what I mean? It's like, Seth and I were talking about that. Now it's like, you would never know. He seems like the perfect California surfboard.
He immersed himself in our culture.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
I do too.
Being an American. Yeah.
I'm impressed with that.
Chad Reed was kind of like that too.
Who?
Yeah.
Reed. Yeah,
I think so.
For sure. I mean, Reed, to me, there's a guy that if anybody's a good example of what to do with the sport, he is. Came in, made a career of it. Now he's living it as a dad. And what a great coach he is to his son, and then he's still bragging to his family, his kids. And this last one I saw, he's still the fastest Reed. And his son says, for now, and it's kind of pretty.
So I have a kind of a cool Reed story. He went that mud race at Millville where Ricky lapped the entire field. He lapped through second.
Right.
I was there, and we were A buddy of mine had VIP passes from Toyota, so there was a super muddy corner where we was a VIP corner, and people were getting stuck there, and and so the track workers just started pulling people off and helping them, and somebody tried to pick up Reed's bike, and he shoved them. It's like, this is the rule, and honestly, that.
Wow.
I mean, that was wow, what integrity, and then he and then to pull it, he couldn't start the bike, couldn't get going, so he just dragged this mud laden bike.
Right.
It was, I'm like, I went in there not really a Reed fan because I was a Ricky fan, but I left like, that guy,
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
That's definitely one of those motocross moments there for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you say, the culture that a guy like that brings to the sport, and those are the kind of people that you want your kids around.
Right.
They're gonna learn from a guy like that.
Absolutely.